Listen Fast, Listen First delivers real-time, authentic stories told by successful Connecticut business owners and community leaders. You'll hear pivotal moments of risk-taking, failure, adaptability, and resilience that all lead to success. And now, the host of Listen Fast, Listen First, Alex Horton.
Our next guest is Helen McAlinden from Homes with Hope, a supportive housing foundation based in Westport, Connecticut, dedicated to preventing and ending homelessness in Fairfield County. Helen emigrated to the U.S. from Ireland after high school, landing in New York City, where she earned a business degree from Manhattan College and ultimately a master's in social work at Fordham University. Her demonstrated commitment to the cause of affordable housing in Fairfield County has made her a powerful partner and an effective leader in Connecticut. Helen joined Homes with Hope in 2020 and has successfully guided the organization through the pandemic. Welcome to the show, Helen.
Hi, Alex. Thank you for having me here today.
Well, I'm glad you're here. So, and we've known each other for a while through volunteering and et cetera, and I can't say enough great things about Helen. So I'm really happy that you're here.
Thank you very much.
Sure. So take us back. Before Homes with Hope, what led you to a lifelong career in the nonprofit sector and dealing with homelessness, Helen?
Well, it kind of began when I immigrated from Ireland, and part of giving back when we came from Ireland was working with the nuns at the Irish Centre in the Bronx. And I used to go with the nuns and a whole group of volunteers, Irish volunteers, to Manhattan. We'd make sandwiches. And then we go to 42nd Street and we'd meet all the homeless with the group from Catholic Charities and from the Irish Immigration Centre and serve the homeless. And I loved it. I just really enjoyed supporting the homeless and finding, talk every week. I'd look forward to meeting people and seeing if they got into housing or what efforts was being made to help them get off the streets. So that was the beginning.
And that was in the city?
That was in Manhattan, and it was in the late 80s.
The late 80s, okay. All right. So you've seen a lot change in the way of homelessness, obviously from the city into Connecticut. If you could look back over the past 20 years or so, how has homelessness changed? And I know that's a kind of a big question, but share some of your insights with our audience.
A lot really has changed over the years. The biggest change I see is the lengths of stay at shelter. We're trying to really reduce them. One time people kind of lived at shelters. They stayed for long, long periods of time. But now through a new initiative called Rapid Rehousing, we move people from shelter into their own homes to different types of housing pretty fast, within a few months. And then the intensive case management is done in their homes. So a lot of work is done at the shelter to prepare people, and then they're moved on to housing, and it's a continuum of services. And as a system, we work very well together, connecting all the different dots in order to support the people we serve. It's done in a very systematic way as well, and every individual or shelter guest that comes into the shelter needs different care. So we work with everybody in a different way, and everybody has their own individual service plan to meet the needs and wants that they have.
And that's pretty incredible for an organization to do that. Do you find that that's more of a, and I want to talk to you a lot about Homes with Hope and the organization that you lead currently, but what do you find across Connecticut? Is it to be homeless in New London, Connecticut, or Greenwich, Connecticut, or Hartford, Connecticut? I would imagine the care is different for everybody. Isn't that right?
Well, there's a system in place that's really unique, that has really changed since I began working with the homeless system. And it's the 2-on-1 system through United Way. And when somebody is homeless nowadays, they call 211 and they're integrated into the system. We really promote diversion. So the last stop or the last place we want anybody to end up is in a homeless shelter. So we work with diverting people from front door. And Homes with Hope has diversion workers and many of the organisations throughout the state of Connecticut. And Connecticut is divided into two regions. There's the Balance Estate, which is everything else apart from Fairfield County. And I work under the Opening Doors Fairfield County system, where there's a whole group of professional providers that support the system. And it's really great to see how everybody works together and supports each other, and really sees if there's somebody with special needs that one agency can't handle, the other will just a phone call away to support each other. And that collaborative work is really, really important for us to be able to serve the huge demand for the homeless population in Fairfield County.
So how huge is the demand for the homeless population?
Well, I can say there's never a bed at the Gillespie Centre or Hoskins Place shelter that's not filled. And as somebody moves on, we move people as fast as we can. And immediately the bed is reported to the 211 system through a homeless management information system. And it's very coordinated and very well organised. And the minute somebody goes out, we prepare the bed and somebody else moves in. And it's the same at every shelter throughout the state of Connecticut. It's very, very busy. And I have to give a shout out for the staff. The staff that work at the shelters are just amazing. Our staff at the Gillespie Centre are really unique people. They work so hard. They're so dedicated to the mission, and they care about everything that happens and how people get to the next step. So it's a very fast-paced job. They, are constantly working all the time, making sure that the people we serve get all their needs met. And there's a lot of needs. The people that come into the Gillespie Centre and Hoskins Place have many different things that need to be supported. And it's not just us, it's many, many agencies. In Westport Positive Directions deals with some mental health issues and supports some clinical assistance that people may need, and there's all different businesses or organisations that's part of that continuum of services. People need a security deposit, they need support to help them get back on their feet with rent. And the Westport Housing Authority and the Westport Social Services all are part of the continuum. We all work together, and that's just the local ones that few of many of the local organisations that I work with. And there's a backbone organisation called Supportive Housing Works, led by David Rich, that has been really supportive in helping us all to stay on track and really support the system and be there to support Opening Doors Fairfield County, to assist us to get people to where they need to be.
I'm always amazed how these nonprofits work with each other. I mean, it's not really a competition.
No.
It's more of a collaboration, isn't it?
It is a collaboration, because one person can't do it all, or one agency can't do it all, and we all are experts in what we do, but it's not just one agency that can help the people that we serve. They need lots of different agencies with many things. There's sometimes credit issues, there's issues around, mental health or substance use, or all different things. So I'm so blessed that our organisation, Homes with Hope, has the support of many, many agencies, and that's what gets us to where we need to be.
And I'll say this too, living in Westport now for about 20 years of my life, I was introduced to the Gillespie Center through your predecessor, Jeff Weiser, and he's a good man. I interviewed Jeff a few weeks back. He's at Goodwill, as we know, and but he taught me a lot about homelessness, and then getting involved at Gillespie Center, preparing meals. talk to me a bit about Gillespie Center and how important that is in Westport. And the follow-up question to that, too, is Westport's an affluent town. Why does Westport need a homeless shelter? And I know that's kind of a ridiculous question, but talk to me a bit about that.
Well, Homes with Hope's Gillespie Center is very unique. There's not many towns, affluent towns in America that do what Homes with Hope does. It's there to support the whole system. And having a homeless shelter in downtown Westport, right behind Tiffany's, is pretty unique. So I have to say that I'm very blessed that I have the position to follow Jeff Weezer and his predecessor, Pete Powell, and lead the agency forward. It's really, really important that small towns become part of a big problem. So homelessness is a big problem, and food insecurity is a big problem. And if we leave it to the big inner cities, and a large problem can be changed by small towns helping out. And you mentioned Westport being an affluent town. Mm-hmm. It is an affluent town with a lot of very generous people that care. And I know you have donated your time and your family and cooked some meals at the Gillespie Center. And you and people like you and others that want to have their children understand that, you know, we don't live in this little bubble where everybody has a nice house and everybody has lovely meals on their table every night, that it's nice to give back and support people that need a little help at some time in their life. And I think that the people from Westport that support the Gillespie Centre enjoy giving back, enjoy cooking nice meals and bringing them to the people we serve. And one thing that I really noticed, and I thought was pretty amazing, when the pandemic hit and we had to stop people coming into the Gillespie Centre with food, and we, for a while, were getting food from restaurants. And I was really excited, saying to the shelter guests, isn't it great, we will be getting the food from restaurants and it'll be really nice food. And somebody that we had moved people from the Gillespie Centre to a hotel in order to keep them safe. And one person was waiting for his housing, and he came from the hotel back to the Gillespie Centre, so he knew it as it was before the pandemic. And he said, yeah, it's nice to get the restaurant food, but there was nothing like the food that was cooked at home. And we don't always get home cooked food. I haven't had a home for many years, he told me. And he said that food that came from the houses and from people's, cooked at the churches by the love of the people, at faith-based gatherings or wherever, the National Charity League or the slabs groups from Staples or all the, I couldn't start naming people, and I'm sorry I left so many out, but all these people that cook food with their love and their children and make homemade cookies. It's just amazing, and our people noticed that and they missed it. So I can't wait for the pandemic to be over so that people can come back to the Gillespie Centre and Hoskins Place, and we call it the Gillespie Centre, and serve again. And it's one thing too that they talk about, the people we serve, is just being part of the community. They never feel like, oh, I'm somebody that lives at the Gillespie Centre and I don't have a home. They feel like they're part of the community. And we have bicycles outside, and our guests cycle around the town, and they are part of the community, and just love living at the Gillespie Centre. But it is a temporary place, so we do make sure that people don't get too comfortable either, because it's just a stop on the road to getting to where you need to be.
Right, to recover and move on, right?
Move on and have your own home. Everybody should have a home. Everybody needs a roof over their head, somewhere to hang their boots. It's very important.
I had the good fortune of serving at Gillespie Center, and I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son, and they know nothing other than, our job is to serve and help others, and Gillespie Center has really helped me kind of lay that foundation for my kids. And the other thing that really struck me, and I don't know when it hit me, but it hit me at one point when I was serving a meal. And, some of the people have real challenges, obviously. I mean, real challenges. I always thought that this is somebody's son, this is somebody's daughter, this is somebody's maybe father, a brother. These are people that have found themselves in this situation. And it's never pretty, but to serve that meal, like you said, and to put your heart into it, I couldn't encourage enough people to get out there and volunteer, because it's really changed my life and my family's life. And certainly that's the selfish side. But on the other side is I'm really helping somebody out. So I'm very fortunate to be in a town that is so supportive of Gillespie Center and Homes with Hope.
Yeah, and what you're saying is what I hear from all the volunteers that volunteer at Homes with Hope. I hear all the time, when I came in first, I wasn't sure what to expect. And now I'll come back anytime I get an opportunity to do this, because it was an eye-opener for my children, for my family, and also the whole feeling of how the people at Gillespie Centre felt about the food and the compliments about the home-cooked meals. And it's lovely to see the children making cookies and going around sharing their cookies, and the whole interaction. Right. It's quite amazing, actually. And the other side that we can't forget about at Gillespie Centre is upstairs, where we have the food pantry. And that's really important to our mission as well, because we're able to support people from all over Fairfield County come in and get some bags of groceries for them and their families. And we have been blessed that we don't rely on the food bank or any government funding at all there. It's supported by the people, the local people. They come with bags of groceries and non-perishable goods, and all the items that are needed are on our website. If anybody would like to donate food to Homes with Hope's food pantry, and the food goes out to people in need. And what we see now is a huge need for food, and a larger number of people coming to the Gillespie Centre to receive food. We changed how we do things a lot. People don't come in, but the staff fill the bags of groceries and get them to the people. People come, there's times all on the website, and come get the food, and it's brought outside. It's very safe. We really abide by, obviously, CDC guidelines, and we keep everybody safe. And we put a big effort to make sure we educate everybody around the value of the vaccine. And I have to say the Westport Western Health District and Dr. Lou and the nurse Lauren there have been so supportive in coming doing testing at the Gillespie Centre every 2 weeks. And now all our guests got the first opportunity, and myself and the rest of the staff, to get our vaccines. I'm blessed that I've had both my vaccines, and able to promote that with the people we serve. And I really, a big shout out to the Westport Western Health District for their support in making sure that the most vulnerable in our community are taken care of and get the vaccine as a priority. And that has been wonderful, because it has been scary, because the Gillespie Centre men's dorm is a big room where a dorm situation. But there is a silver lining. While the pandemic happened, we moved with the support of the Department of Housing and Fairfield County Foundation, the generosity of many of our donors, we were able to move people to a local hotel or 2 local hotels. We started with the elderly, and then we got to move the others in large dorms so that we could renovate. And it was the first time in 37 years that we've been around 37 years, but since the Gillespie Centre opened, it's been the first time that we had the place vacant and the floors were pulled up and new flooring put in, and we painted and put up screens and dividers so that we could abide by social distancing, safe measures. And the place looks fabulous, and I can't wait for our donors and supporters to come back to see the Gillespie Centre. But in the meantime, I did a little tour of Homes with Hope and our different properties and what we're doing, and you get to see inside the Gillespie Centre. And anybody that would like to see that, it's on our website. We have a new website, www.hwhct.org, and please look at our website, and my email details and my telephone number is on there, and I would welcome anybody to call me. And as people feel safe, come visit Homes with Hope and learn about what we do, because it's a wonderful organisation, and I'm very proud of Homes with Hope and the position that I hold at the agency and the wonderful staff that we have. So please come visit us or give me a call, and I'll tell you more.
So, and along those lines, what's coming up? I know that every year as an executive director at Homes with Hope, since I've been associated with it, I know that you are very successful in running a comedy night. Are we doing that again this year?
We are definitely doing that, and it's time to laugh again. We all need a good laugh.
Yep, we do.
And we changed it up last year. It used to be at the Quick Centre, and there was probably 650 people. It was a big event, and this event is really, really important. And last year we did it totally virtually, so we had about 1,200 links. So this year it's going to be on June 12th, and it's going to be partly at the Westport Library, and there's going to be 4 comedians doing their comedy part virtually, and then we will have special guests, the police chief, the first selectman, and we have a comedian, actually a local comedian added in this year, which will be very fun, but it will be virtually, the comedy side. And we have a young guy from Westport, Jamie Mann, who's very famous, and he's going to be doing our cocktail hour at the Westport Library. We're making it very safe. We're going to have some space outside for people that don't feel comfortable coming inside, and it's going to be a great night's entertainment. Alison Camarado is going to be doing special, helping us out, and so many other things. It's going to be a great show. I'm very excited about it, and we have wonderful co-chairs, Alison Goplig and Becky Martin, and actually Dr. Scott Goplig, who has been a leader with advising us all on the pandemic, is going to be a special guest again this year, and helping us understand more about how our homeless population have been affected during the pandemic, and just sharing some best practices. And he's just such a wonderful supporter of Homes with Hope, and a Westport resident as well. Yeah. So we're all proud to have him in Westport.
So wrapping things up here, and we're going to get back to highlighting. So June 12th, again, don't miss that event. Go to Homes with Hope, their website, and you can find out more there, right?
Yeah.
And make sure you do that. One question for you on running this nonprofit. So some of the audience is coming from the nonprofit world, and we've got some budding, future executives and future leaders. What would be, looking back over your career, what would be some advice you could share with them as they kind of progress into a role like yours?
I guess go with your passion. I feel that I never thought I would be the executive director of an agency that I care so much about, but I really wanted to support and help, and I went with my passion, and I was lucky enough to be able to lead an organization like Homes with Hope. So I think everybody has the ability to do whatever they want if you have enough will and drive, and just keep plugging along. You know, you take step by step, and just like our clients, they set their goals, and it's little steps to get to each goal. I feel like young people, as they begin their careers, like the young lady I met here today who's in Yukon, it's very important to set your goals and your drive to what you want to do. And it's so hard because I have a young daughter as well, and she's looking at colleges, and, you know, at 17 years of age, what do you know what you want to do?
Right.
So really, you know, look and see different things, and when you get to what you really like, go with it. Right. And there's so many opportunities in America, so much things that as a young person growing up in Ireland, I didn't have as much opportunities. You know, most people immigrated to a wonderful country like America, and I'm proud to be an American citizen now. But so in answer to your question, just go with your drive, go with what you believe, and follow your dreams, because dreams come true, and everybody can get to that point. Just never give up, keep going.
That's great advice. It's great advice. Totally immerse yourself in what you're doing, and then do a lot more of it, right?
Yeah, keep going.
Don't give up, because there's many moments of failure along the way, but that's, you know, all of that leads to success.
There you go.
So now we're going to move into the fun part, the Connecticut. So pressure's off. I promise. You can't give me a wrong answer. So we call this Connecticut rapid fire questions. It's really, an idea would be to support our local businesses and you know, community leaders and so forth. So we live in the land of the greatest pizza on earth. What's your favorite pizza place?
I like Joe's Pizza in Westport. And I like in Fairfield, Naughty Dolphin right at the train station.
That's all you get. You get two. So Joe's Pizza, shout out to Joe's Pizza in Westport, and the Naughty Dolphin in Fairfield. Both great places. I've eaten at both of them, and I couldn't agree more. Are you a coffee person, a beer person, or something else?
I like tea.
You like tea? So where do you go for a good cup of tea? At home, or
yeah, I drink tea at home. I drink tea at the office. I drink everywhere I go. I like to get tea.
All right. So anybody who's listening to this, if you want to win Helen over, bring her a good cup of tea, right?
Or come to my house and have a cup of tea with me.
Or that, right? And then finally, the question I always ask the guests is, you know, and I know you run Homes with Hope, so you're not allowed to pick Homes with Hope in your answer here, but if you're in a giving mood or a donating mood, or, you know, if you think back to supporting other charities, what nonprofit or charity comes to mind, Helen?
Oh, there's so many, but since I began this job, I really got to see the value of Westport Rotary Club. And there's 2 Rotaries in Westport. I'm involved with the daytime with you, Alex. But there's also another one, Sunrise Rotary. They're 2 wonderful organisations based here locally in Westport. And there's also a backbone agency to our whole system called Supportive Housing Works, run by a guy called David Rich. That's a great organisation too, supporting the homeless.
Right. So more shout outs, and we'll publish that on our social media and our website. And well, I can't thank you enough for coming in, Helen. You're a great guest and certainly a great person doing great things.
Thank you very much. You too.
So we're really rooting for you and Homes with Hope, and wish you nothing but success. And I also want to thank our sponsors, Papa's Photography, Infinite Web Designs, and BRBG Insurance. We couldn't do any of this without them. And, you know, if you like what you see and what you hear, you know, make sure that you subscribe and like and share and do all the things that podcast hosts beg their audience to do. And with that said, thank you so much, and have a great day.